This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Oh, a TV movie, huh? Haven't done one of those in a while. I think the last one I did was Space Warriors 2000. Good news, this one's a lot better, mainly because some Pote Sands had nothing to do with it. The 1970s were a golden age when it came to made-for-TV horror flicks. You had stuff like The Night Stalker, Salem's Lot, Trilogy of Terror, and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, just to name a few. Gargoyles originally aired in 1972 as part of CBS's Tuesday Night Movies program, and while it's not as popular as some of the other ones I mentioned, over the years it has gotten a small following. Now let's see if Gargoyles is a TV movie classic like Duel, or is closer to something like Satan's School for Girls. So we begin the way any TV movie should, with the fucking devil.
The devil was once the most favored of the host of angels serving the Lord. The devil and his band of followers, who likewise suffered the sin of pride, were defeated in battle by the Lord and his host, and were banished to the outermost depths of hell.
Damn, sounds like that would make for an awesome TV movie. Dante's Inferno, tonight at 7 after the Brady Bunch. The narrator goes on to explain that gargoyles are minions of Satan who emerge every 600 years to terrorize humanity. Now they got the timing a little wrong here. Instead of the 70s, gargoyles wouldn't make a comeback until the 90s. You can really tell the gargoyles are evil because they wrote the opening credits in their boogers. So our main character is Dr. Boley, a professor specializing in the occult and demonology, who's getting a visit in New Mexico from his daughter Diana to help him with research for his new book. Oh, and hey look, she brought him a gift.
Calamudri will just about complete my collection of demons.
It'll look great on my shelf next to my collection of SS daggers. Dr. Boley is played by Cornell Wilde, a respected actor and director who normally wouldn't appear in a movie like this. But hey, by the 70s, lots of veteran actors were ending up in monster flicks. I mean, how do you think Rory Calhoun ended up fighting giant rabbits? Oh, and Doc, I could be mistaken, but I think you got an extra passenger there. Gee, sure hope their car doesn't break down. Judging by the surroundings, I'd say they're smack dab in the middle of the Hills Have Eyes territory.
We'll double back about 5 miles.
What was that?
Oh, my mistake. Apparently the hills have wings.
Where are we headed, Dad?
Oh, don't worry, dear. It gets worse.
Hey, what do you mean it gets worse? Have you got something against cold beer? I think that might be false advertising, though, because by the looks of this place, I doubt it even has electricity, let alone a fridge.
Hi.
It does, however, have fake-out scares. This guy is called Uncle Willie, and he's invited Dr. Boley out here because he has something amazing to show him. If the rest of this place is any indication, hopefully it's not a human skin suit he's been working on.
Bones. I smell old bones.
Nah, that is what he's gonna show him, isn't it? No, wait, never mind. It's just the skeleton of some weird pterodactyl man he found.
This is excellent work, but it's a concoction of unrelated bones. Some animal, some human.
Yeah, you just took the skull of a 6-foot parrot and glued some horns on it. There's nothing special about this.
Listen to me. The Indians named this place Devil's Crossing. The Indians told all about these devils, these spirits.
Well, the movie's called Gargoyles, not Devils, so I guess they were wrong. Willie explains that hundreds of years ago, the natives from this area were supposedly terrorized by mysterious winged creatures. Alright, well, that's what they get for building their home over an ancient gargoyle burial ground. Boley remains skeptical, but agrees to record Willie's story.
Why are you locking that? What for?
It's getting late out now.
It is? It was broad daylight a second ago. How long were you guys in there? And if you needed a reminder, this is a TV movie.
I always bolt all the doors when the sun goes down.
You high karate after shave is so powerful, it drives women right out of their minds. That's why we have to put instructions on self-defense in every package. High karate, the brisk splash-on after shave that smooths and soothes and cools. High karate, be careful how you use it.
We're back, and Willie decides to tell Dr. Boley more about the gargoyles.
Can you remember what the Indian word was for the devils in the legends?
Let me see. Nakatachinkos.
Whoa, easy there, Willie. Don't be tossing around the N-word for gargoyles. That is their term, okay? Uh-oh, I got bad news. Looks like the gargoyles heard you and are pissed. Yeah, don't bother. With all the moonshine in his blood, Willie went up like a box of tissue paper. You know, for an early 70s TV movie, this is actually a pretty effective sequence, from the burning shed to the brief glimpses we get of the gargoyles. Although this is somewhat offset by Boley and Diana's pretty nonchalant reaction to Willie getting killed.
You got your research, Dad.
Yeah, and you just saw a man burned to death. Probably gonna have to report that to the cops. First, though, they're gonna have to shake off a gargoyle hitchhiker, mainly because he didn't obey the 70s gas, grass, or ass rule. Man, I just wanted a ride to Roswell. I heard they got an alien skeleton there. Speaking of skeletons, they managed to nab the gargoyle skull, and with Willie dead, that means Dr. Boley can take all the credit for his discovery. But first, they gotta get a room for the night, and they do so at a place that looks like it's straight out of a Twin Peaks episode, right down to the wacky alcoholic motel manager.
Was it a big wreck?
No.
Was anybody killed?
No.
Did they just forget about Willie burning to death? And if I didn't know any better, I'd say motel lady wants to get a little wild with Cornell.
Why don't you have a nightcap while your daughter gets some rest, huh?
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, lady. You're not gonna be the naked prey tonight.
We've got to go tell somebody about last night.
Why? I mean, it's not like anybody died.
What are we going to do about the old man?
Well, that we'll have to report to the police.
How are we going to explain it?
I'm not going to. I'm going to let them puzzle about it.
Oh yeah, sure, that won't make you a suspect. Actually, turns out they don't have to worry about that since the cops find another scapegoat, rowdy dirt bikers. Oh, I guess it's true. In the 70s, even TV movies were obligated to include a Smokey and the Bandit style chase sequence. Eventually, the bikers are all arrested, one of whom is played by Scott Glenn. But don't put him in jail. Then he won't be able to star in The Keep, and I might do a video on that one day.
What are the charges?
You just quiet down.
You know Canadian tuxedos are illegal around these parts. Alright, Boley and Diana got the skull, and they managed to pin Willie's murder on some innocent people so the cops don't suspect them. All in all, pretty successful day. Unfortunately, that night doesn't go as well for them.
Diana, run!
Fun fact, in the 70s, all motel rooms came with a complimentary slee stack. Here's our first good look at the gargoyles, who've come to retrieve the skull. And I would comment on the suits, but I'm distracted by the weird slow motion effect the movie uses most of the time they're on screen. Not sure why they did this, but it was the 70s, so maybe it was just all the quaaludes. Anyway, one of the gargoyles gets hit by a truck, which means Boley now has proof that they're real. But first, a word from our sponsor. Hey, did somebody say sponsor? Wow, that was a smooth segue, huh? Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. That's right, Squarespace, a leader in the web design industry for over 20 years. Whether you want to show off your interests, start a side hustle, or finally dive headfirst into that new business, Squarespace makes web design easy. Using their AI-powered website builder, you can make your own fully functional professional site. Just answer some simple questions about your personality and industry, and Design Intelligence will handle the rest, creating a completely customized site loaded with all the features you need. And if you change your mind and want to make some changes, Squarespace's Fluid Engine allows you to easily drag and drop elements, all without doing any coding. Plus, if you're trying to sell some products, whether they're handmade or digital, Squarespace has e-commerce tools built right in, as well as an intuitive inventory management system. So if you're somebody who wants to join the thousands of other people who've used Squarespace to make their dreams a reality, just go to squarespace.com/BrandonTenold or click the link in the description and sign up for your free trial. Then, when you're confident your site's ready for launch, use the promo code BrandonTenold for 10% off your first purchase. Alright, let's get back to the show. Okay, and we're back.
What is it?
I've seen them many times before.
I watched Doctor Who and Star Trek. And in case you forgot what this movie's called...
You mean in your books?
The Gargoyles.
Title drop.
Who is it?
Gargoyle, housekeeping. Diana makes her way to the police station where she tries to say the dirt bikers are innocent by telling him about the gargoyles, which goes about as well as you would think.
In our motel room, we have a huge, giant dead animal. It looks like a lizard.
Giant lizard.
And there was a fire and Uncle Willie got killed. And then we
Hey,
grabbed
come
the
here,
skull
come
and we
here.
ran to the...
You and your old man sniffing glue back in that motel?
Oh, please. Everyone knows if you really want to break on through, paint thinner's the way to go. Needless to say, both the bikers and the cops don't believe Diana's story. You know, maybe telling them about the gargoyles and walking alone at night wasn't a great idea.
Where have you...
Damn it, Dad, don't fake scare me like that. They don't have to wait long for some real scares to show up, though, since the gargoyles start attacking the motel trying to get the body of their dead comrade. Here's a fun fact. Some of the gargoyle makeup was done by effects whiz Stan Winston, who would later go on to work on stuff like the Terminator series, Aliens, Predator, Jurassic Park, not to mention a ton of others. And he even won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Achievement in Makeup for this movie. And the gargoyles look... okay for the time, I guess. Alright, the makeup on the main gargoyle is actually pretty impressive, so I can see how that won an Emmy. The rest of the gargoyles, though, are pretty standard for early 70s TV. You could see monsters that look similar to these things on an episode of Night Gallery. I do appreciate that they tried to make some of the gargoyles look different from each other, though. Oh, and here's another fun fact. Originally, the makeup team wasn't going to be credited, and when Stan Winston heard about this, he threatened to walk off the movie, which not only resulted in them getting credit, but also made them eligible for the Emmy they eventually won. Good work, Stan. That'll teach him to try and disrespect a guy that built his own robot T-Rex. Anyway, not only do the gargoyles get the body of their dead friend back, but they also kidnap Diana. And listen, fellas, I know you gotta get this to feature length, but could you ease up on the slow-mo a bit? You know what? Screw it. We're almost at another commercial break.
Here's Milky, the marvelous milking cow. It's fun to milk her, gonna do it right now. She drinks the water when we pump her tail. She's raising her head, it's milking time now. Her pretend milk is a feeling the pail.
She drinks water and gives pretend milk.
Milky, the marvelous milking cow. Milky, the marvelous milking cow with pretend milk tablets. She's from Kenner.
We're back, and they've been walking in slow-mo for so long, it's now daytime. The gargoyles take Diana to their lair, and the leader isn't the only one getting creepy here. Hey, watch it. This is airing on network television. That means no titties, got it? However, a friendly smack on the ass is just fine. Meanwhile, motel lady goes to tell the cops about what happened.
They tore down Dr. Bowley's door.
They also smashed my bottle of Jim Beam. Here, I'll just take some of yours. The cops don't believe either motel lady or the bikers about the gargoyles, but they do believe Cornell Wilde when he tells them. That makes sense. He was the more established actor at the time. While the cops and bikers go to look for Diana, motel lady and another guy are sent to go get the state police.
Mrs. Parks, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be sitting in here with you than out with that search party.
Me too.
See, this is why in New Mexico you always check your truck bed for rattlesnakes and gargoyles. Back at the gargoyle lair, Diana is really lucky these caves are so well lit. By the way, the main gargoyle is played by ex-NFL player Bernie Casey, who some of you might remember from In the Mouth of Madness.
You must teach me, Diana.
However, Bernie's real voice will not be making an appearance in this movie. Anyway, you're the expert here, Bowley. Fill everybody in on what they're dealing with.
There have been outbreaks of things like this. You can see them in the legends of a dozen different cultures. They show up, about every 400 or 500 years.
What? The opening narration said 600. Get your facts straight, movie. And here's some more info about the gargoyles.
Why'd they take Diana?
Well, in legends, they've been reported to take human women.
Great, horny gargoyles. Well, it was the 70s. They made a porn film about Bigfoot. I guess gargoyles aren't that much of a stretch. But wait, the gargoyles don't mean any harm. They even say so themselves.
We must not let you kill us out. We mean no harm. You have nothing to fear. Your people have nothing to fear.
Okay, there's a bit of an inconsistency here. While the opening narration said that the gargoyles are minions of Satan, indicating a supernatural origin, most of the rest of the movie seems to portray them as a biological species that's coexisted alongside humans. And if the movie instead decided to portray them as a misunderstood species that merely wants to survive without fear of being destroyed by humanity, that would actually be an interesting twist. I say would be because even though the movie hints at something like that, it ultimately doesn't go in that direction. Case in point for the gargoyles being evil, just look at what they did to Motel Lady.
It's Mrs. Parks.
Poor Motel Lady. She died as she lived, with a blood alcohol level of 0.25 and not knowing up from down. Well, that does it. Time to rescue Diana and take care of these gargoyle bastards. First, though, it's time for our last commercial break.
Come on, hit the gas! You're killing me out here!
Jet Moto 2. More tracks, more control, more speed. Take advantage of it.
And turn off the blinker!
PlayStation.
Alright, I know that commercial wasn't from the 70s, but I thought it was funny. Alright, we're now in the last 15 minutes of the movie, and as you might expect, a lot of this final battle is in slow motion. It feels like this movie was originally supposed to be an hour, and then they had to find a way to stretch it into a longer time slot. Yeah, that's what you get for bringing a rubber suit to a gunfight, bitch. As much as I make fun, I will admit that this movie is surprisingly bloody for an early 70s TV movie. And here's something you don't see every day, a gargoyle riding a horse. Not sure why he's doing this, he has wings, but I guess that's a way to save money on effects. Oh, and remember when the gargoyle said they were just misunderstood and that humanity had nothing to fear from them?
It will be you and your kind that dies. The end of your age. The beginning of mine.
Nope, they're evil and want to destroy mankind. This is weird. It's like the script couldn't decide if it wanted the gargoyles to be supernatural or biological, evil or misunderstood. So instead it just sort of put all of these ideas together. Oh, and as for why the main gargoyle brought Diana here...
The sin was not my own, but forced upon me by the incubus, who of a night did slip into my bedchamber, and taunt and seduce me with demons' promises.
It's so she could read him incubus erotica.
Don't worry. I have no need for you human. I am merely curious.
Yeah, he's just a little bi-species curious. This proves to be his undoing, since a jealous female gargoyle ends up bringing Dr. Boley right to him. You know, I'm not too sure about the gargoyle's plan to conquer humanity. A 60-year-old professor can take care of him pretty easily, and that's even before he gets a shotgun. Meanwhile, Scott Glenn goes to take care of the egg chamber. Don't worry, Scott. Even though you're dead, I'll still probably do a video on the keep anyway. Alright, motherfucker. Nobody hits on my daughter and gets away with it. Oh, and you know how Boley defeats the gargoyles? He injures the female one that helped him. Makes sense. Well, whatever, it works. Oh, and about those flying effects. Okay, you know what? I can see why they didn't show that till the end. By the way, that's the end. It just cuts to the credits after this. I wasn't able to confirm this, but it feels like they hoped this could be a pilot to a Gargoyles TV series that didn't end up getting picked up. So, is this one a TV movie classic? Kinda. This one's something of a mixed bag. It's pretty suspenseful in the early scenes when the gargoyles are just hinted at or briefly glimpsed, but it's less effective once they actually show them, mainly due to that weird slow-mo effect they end up using too much. And while the makeup on Bernie Casey is good for the time, the rest of them look like any other monster you would have seen on TV in 1972. It's not bad as far as 70s made-for-TV horror flicks go, but it's not even close to something like Duel, which could actually compete with theatrical movies of the time. If you saw this back in 1972, this might be worth a revisit, but newcomers aren't going to be blown away by this one. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
Why don't I just get you some beers?
Sounds good.